Very sick, average Joe. Just going to do some political covers by various folk artists. So this first one's about, I think in times of political unrest, it's important to remember that love prevails over all. I've got a story about love prevailing. I think the guy wrote it because he was a bit pissed off about people around the world feeling or being considered surplus to requirement. So it's not about eugenics, but just about every human deserving place.
I do
So this one's just about, I think what happens when one people sort of overcome political oppression. They end up repeating the mistakes of the past, so this is just a warning of not doing that. When oppressed becomes oppressor, and the best become the worst, when the meek become the mighty and the blessed become the cursed, when the flame of faith is failing and the light of love has died, when the fruit of truth decays upon the tree of human pride. Send me your huddled masses cried, America the free. Then from Ceylon to San Salvador, the streets were filled with refugees. The Jew who braved the ghetto and David's sacred side. Then in promised land with stick in hand, he beats the child from Palestine. When oppressed becomes oppressor, and the best become the worst. When the meek become the mighty and the blessed become the cursed. When the flame of faith is failing, and the light of love has died, and the fruit of truth decays upon the tree of human pride. The Chinese peasant army faced capitalist gun, then their long march to freedom ended in the square at Tiananmen. The world expelled the man Saddam from defenseless Kuwait. Then the torturers of Al-Sabah sent hundreds to an unknown fate. When oppressed becomes oppressor, and the best become the worst. When the meek become the mighty and the blessed become the cursed. When the flame of faith is failing and the light of love has died, and the fruit of truth decays upon the tree of human pride. The Chechnik fought so bravely to fend off the fascist horde. Then his sons went raping Muslim girls on orders from a Serb warlord. Will we ever learn from history? Memory fades so fast, but we're destined to repeat our sins if we forget our past. When oppressed becomes oppressor, and the best become the worst. When the meek become the mighty and the blessed become the cursed. When the flame of faith is failing and the light of love has died, and the fruit of truth decays upon the tree of human pride.
A warm summer's day. A lawn filled with croquet. Oxford University. It's graduation day. Now graduated, he contemplates his different career prospects. A pilot.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your pilot speaking. Meow!
A surgeon.
Scout! We've lost him!
A bus driver.
Ha!
A politician.
Oh!
7 steps of how to be a good politician. Step 1. Gestures. All good politicians utilize bold, powerful gestures to lure unsuspecting strangers into thinking they're more capable than they actually are. For example, pointing. Ensure the point isn't too aggressive. Fold your fingers neatly and place the thumb on top. Now point. A bold and powerful gesture. Ensure that you shake many, many hands. But not too much. Step 2. Leg stance. If you stand with your feet touching, you are shrinking yourself. You want to make yourself look larger, taking up space to demonstrate confidence. Assume a wide gait, but not so much that the crotch twinges. A nice wide gait with an upright posture. You must send out a message of your vitality. That is why striding is a popular gait with many politicians. Maintain eye contact. But ensure it's not a staring contest. Step 4. Facial expressions. All good politicians need to practice different facial expressions. For example, the thinking face. Your best cry face for the poor. And finally, the stern face. Step 5. Statements. Good politicians ensure they learn the following 3 statements. Number 1. I was not aware of that. Number 2. Let me look into that. And finally, number 3. For the good of the country.
For the good of the country.
Step 6. Likeability factor. Ensure that you appear likable and relatable. For example, cycle. Drink a pint. And finally, always ensure that you catch up with the latest Great British Bake Off. Step 7. Other miscellaneous duties. Good politicians ensure they engage with other cultures. But not too much. Support working families. Make sure you don't let them rely on you or become lazy. Tell whole groups of people that you value their existence with a straight face. And finally, attend charitable events with enthusiasm and poise. But don't let them know that you secretly don't give a shit. And there we have it. 7 steps of how to be a good politician.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Hot dogs.
Our mother could have been a politician if she wasn't absorbing glasses of emotional labour. Throw in a dose of the domestic too. She could have been a politician if she hadn't given up her maths GCSE whilst repetitively making RT. Our mother could have been a politician if her vagina hadn't fallen out, hips and spine eroded from keeping us warm and nourished for 9 months. Our mother could have been a politician if she slept when she got in from the night shift, but the school run and housework called. She could have been a politician if she could have earned more, spent more, been more. She could have spent her time more wisely instead of chasing away racists from our Afro-Caribbean neighbour's door. Please don't volunteer as school games helper when you wipe people's arses and tuck them in to sleep at 1 AM. Stop arguing with staff nurses when they leave patients in piss-soaked sheets. Our mother could have been a politician if her had been thinking in the correct way instead of taking and telling us about injustices. If she'd have spent less time talking to us in bed. If she'd have pursued more extracurricular activities instead of helping us with our homework. If she'd have been more determined and staying up until 3 AM in the morning whilst we sobbed our teenage hearts out. She couldn't change the world if she wasn't mentoring kids at school because she felt like shite. Stop wreath making while scrambling around in ditches and dirt to pay for Christmas. Oh, and 13-year-old mother, stop nabbing change of milk bottle lids to skip mum and down the road. My mother could have been a politician, but strength and integrity got no one's work.
Dear Mickey Moore, I am writing to you because I am tired of the next generation of children and young people. The number of teachers leaving the profession has increased by 11% over the last 3 years. This is despite the government spending £700 million every year on training. The proportion of those who chose to leave the profession ahead of retirement has risen to 75%. Why do you think so many teachers are leaving the job they love? It's because the stress levels of teachers are soaring. The unnecessary workload means teachers being forced to leave because it is taking a toll on their health. This means that secondary school classes are being taught by teachers who do not have a relevant post-A-level qualification for that subject. It is not just teachers who are feeling affected. GCSE families have changed again. We all know that exams are already hard, and the pressure on young people to succeed at higher grade is even greater. It seems that as soon as we achieve our target grades, the government say exams are too easy. We get the grades they want, and they're still not happy. There's also pressure from the government to go into education. For some people, who they get education is not suitable. It's such a young age to make a decision on your career that could affect your whole life. Some people might not be able to afford. If everyone has it reduces the value of people and might become a worthless piece of paper at the grand cost of £27,000. The government is also prioritizing primary school children. When starting children have an interesting, it is a test to help improve schools. However, under your government, the test is a mouthful and children are being affected. Crying, shaking, what's this business now? For what? So the government doesn't tell them that they are so much. Not only is it proving stressful for thousands of children, it's being used to train children's writing with the spelling, punctuation and grammar. When I was younger, I didn't read books like Charles Fleck because Willits, Hunter the Virtual, or Radisson Borders. This is not what makes good writing. What about interesting plot, descriptive language, good characters? Writing is a form of brief expression, not input-output writing. Offset language, making teachers focus on paperwork and reports, rather than students themselves. Isn't that thing more important than paperwork if we're to achieve this all important straight A's? With new academies comes less learning, leading schools find that drama and dance. Always seem to be talking about as if they're not important. Your government doesn't seem to value the arts, and funding for the arts is always cut bills. They'll hardly end up paying for the salary for it, and it's kind of fun. It will last way for a lot of students. They're avoiding choosing the subjects they love, because they've been told they're useless. Hearts brings confidence, and teaches lessons which cannot be taught with text. Let's remember them to children, not robots. You're sincere, someone that cares.
Name's Sarah. Say I'm difficult, socially dysfunctional, and then I need to think about my future. I'm 14, like kicking the ball against the shop wall, playing with my mates and helping my nan in the morning. Hello! My name's Katrina. Professional. Aspirational. Inspirational. Gathering evidence and case studies, I like to look at the dramatic impact on your people and to encourage social mobility. Hello! Do I get any dinner? You do? Thank you. What's that? It's what we call a chai latte. Took me ages to get it, you know. Did it? Well, I've been playing football. I see. Which team do you support? Right back to. I'm here today to talk to you about your life and what you want to do with your life. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what I've done with my life. Does that make sense? Would you like to ask me anything? I don't know. What car do you drive? Which one? Now, the people with all the dreams always go further than the people with the facts. What we're trying to do is we're trying to give more money to more businesses, to work with more communities, to work with more people, helping them, fixing them. What? Fixing people like me? Zara? Yes, Zara? Okay, Zara, we don't want you earning a few pounds a month now, do we? We want you to be earning or learning. When you like talk about earning and learning, you mean like stacking shelves and pound like a sod all? My dad says it all the time, he says it's like propaganda like in the wall posters are. What we're trying to do is we want everybody to be working. Everybody working fairly. The work fair. No, you just want to be working in like Mackey's for sod up. Might make it down the road, he's like stupid 6 weeks, and then you're just tuning back into the dole queue. Or you'll have us like, I don't know, dressed up in a suit, selling something we don't know anything about. You lot don't give a fucking shit about us. There is a world out there, Zara, that cares about you, that wants you to do well, wants you to be a good worker. Do you really believe the world is so bad? No. Good. The world really isn't that bad. I know I'm privileged, Zara. I know you had it tough. We're all so very proud of you. Can I try for that? I've just seen it in them cups and stuff, it looks dead now. Okay. Actually, Zara, I really rather you
probably didn't. I mean, there's a lot of caffeine in there. I mean, you've got your drink thing there and that box thing of yours. Shall we get on with the case study? Do you know what case study is?
No.
Fantastic. And how's the journey here?
Yes, Sam.
Excellent. And how was the start?
What do you mean?
Were they helpful / polite / satisfactory?
Well, one of them swore at me. which
Okay,
was-
staff swearing, naughty, I'll let that down. And how many brothers and sisters do you have?
Well, I've got 4 brothers, 2 sisters, a stepbrother, and a half sister.
I see. And what about your life goals, Zara?
What's the point of telling you that? I don't know. I've always wanted to fly, plane, travel, and everything happens.
Yes, I don't actually mean, Zara, something more realistic. Perhaps, I don't know, a C in your maths GCSE? Okay. Look, let me tell you something. My uncle's mother's father's brother's daughter's dog came from a similar background to yours. I know it's difficult.
You don't know anything, no! It's £2 an hour when it's like £2 for a return on the bus, and then even if I do for 6 weeks this work fair, you'll slag me off until the dog queue afterwards, and then I won't get a job, and then I can't get a house, because you'll take all the help away from us like you always fucking do with everyone!
Can you sit down, Zara? Can we get back to the case study? Can you look at me? I have wasted my time coming here today to talk to you about... Can you put that down, Zara? Can you put that down?
What a load of shit!
Bitch.
Oh, Frank. Why did this have to happen now? You were always so careful about what you ate as well. It was the stress that did it, I know it was. How many times did I have to tell you? Now what will I do without you?
Excuse me, Mrs. Willis, is it? Mr. Willis?
Yes. Sorry, who are you?
I'm with the DWP, Department of Work and Pensions.
The DWP. I'm sorry, why are you here?
Well, you see, I'm with the Department of Work and Pensions, and it's routine, madam, just routine.
Well, do you have a name?
Of course, I'm Simon.
Well, Simon what?
I'm not at liberty to say. Mrs. Willis, the cause of death was a cardiac arrest, yes?
Oh, yes, the doctor said he had a heart attack.
How do you know?
I was there, of course I was there.
I spoke to the presiding doctor before I came in. No need to worry. So, I see from the marks on his chest here that they tried a resuscitation, am I correct?
Yes.
And I'm informed by the prescribing doctor that they employed the use of a defibrillator.
Well, they shot him, yes, but it didn't work then.
Mrs. Willis, could you tell me how many times they used the defibrillator on your husband?
I'm really not sure. I mean, there was so much to take in. I couldn't
Listen, it's very important that you remember.
I really couldn't. I'm not sure.
Was it 2?
Yes, I think it's 2.
Excellent. Now, yes, very well.
Listen, I don't see why. Is there a case of malpractice? Is that why you're here? Should the doctors have done more or something?
Oh, good Lord, no. 2 uses of the defibrillator is the maximum allowed under the new government measures.
Well, then I don't understand.
Mrs. Willis, it's very simple. In this challenging economic climate, one cannot simply waste resources. The NHS operates under a strict budget. Gone are the days of careless spending, where doctors were free to use the defibrillator willy-nilly. Why, I've heard of some cases where the patient was shot 13, sometimes even 14 times. You know, with no improvement. And that was just one example in one department on one given day. Can you imagine the cost of the wasted electricity across the entire NHS for the last calendar year if this was the case elsewhere? It's staggering. It's truly staggering. So, under the new austerity measures, every patient is entitled to 2 jolts of the defibrillator in any given calendar year, running April 1st through to April 4th. More than enough.
I don't understand. This is a life-saving treatment. One more shot could have brought my friend back.
Indeed, it could have done, yes, and it certainly would have helped with matters today, which is what brings me on to the reason that I'm here. You see, whilst claiming for incapacity benefit for your husband's back injury sustained, in July 2014, indeed, it seems that you were in receipt of several overpayments amounting to a total cost of £2,780.32. An amount which is still owed and required to be paid in full.
I don't have that kind of money. I've got the funeral to pay for. I've got so many things to...
Hold on a moment, let's not get too hasty. You see, I've carried out my examination, and I regret to inform you that yes, your husband simply hasn't scored enough points to be able to be declared unfit for work.
That's ridiculous.
I'm afraid so. It's all here in black and white. You see here where it says number of limbs, and you've written 4. Do you agree with 4? Is that correct? Yes, and also you've agreed that he's completely intact?
Yes, but his heart is...
Yes, and he's not broken any bones in that.
No, look at him.
Further, the nature of his original claim focused on, and I quote, his inability to straighten his back.
Well, yeah, he couldn't lie down.
Looks like he's doing a pretty good job of it. In fact, he hasn't scored enough points to be able to be declared unfit for work. As of my latest government legislation, because he's received a substantial overpayment of incapacity benefit, not only is he still liable for the debt, but he must return to work immediately. Repayment.
That's ridiculous. That's ludicrous. How do you expect him to do that when he's dead?
Mrs. Willis, please!
I don't make the rules. I'm just doing my job. I suggest that the two of you sit down, discuss your options, as failure to comply will see sanctions applied to you both, meaning that any benefit you receive will be frozen until an agreement is reached between the DWP and your husband. There's plenty of low-paid, menial labour out there for those willing to get up off their backside.
So what do you expect me to do? What am I supposed to do?
I realise the news of the overpayment has come as a bit of a shock, and I am sorry to have to deliver the news today of all days. But the matter stands. Expect us to be in touch shortly. Oh, and my condolences.
Pick them up for me. Certainly not at this short notice. If you could get me an earlier appointment, then I can do that, or I can get there today. What about a later appointment then? Say 4 o'clock, I can get a friend to have them, or they can come with me. Then it'll have to be tomorrow, so I can arrange for them to be picked up. But I'm trying to tell you I can't get there for 3 o'clock today. You've just rang me, expecting me to change my schedule to suit you, to be interviewed tomorrow. I didn't shout. I raised my voice a bit because you're not listening to me. Do you have kids? Sanction? What's that supposed to mean? So I can lose my benefits just because I can't turn up at exactly when you said. How am I supposed to get to my part-time job without money for buses? How does my 13-year-old get to school without a bus fare? What are we supposed to eat? Oh, for goodness sake, I can't get there for 3 o'clock. I have 2 kids to pick up from school at that time and I can't arrange help with this short notice. Oh yes, a family, but they don't live near, and even if they did, they work. I just can't believe this is so desperate that it can't wait till tomorrow when I can arrange for help. No, I'm not shouting. I'm not calling you a liar. Hello? Hello?
So I asked about an apprenticeship, and the bloke sounded positive. He looked at my CV and asked where I left education. I told him it's on there. I left at 16, got a part-time job at Simmons Warehouse, shelf filling, because I wanted to join the army. So he says, well, why didn't you join the army? And I explained, yet again, I failed my medical because of my eczema. Truth is, I didn't even get past the interview when they found out. Anyway, I lost my job at Simmons when I was 19, because they got taken over and they let off all the part-time staff, even though I've been asking for full-time for months. So it's been 10 months since I've been out of work, which was the post office at Christmas. So they put me on this work pair scheme, which is basically me working for my dole to get experience. Have a guess where they're sending me? Yeah, bloody Simmons Warehouse. Which is alright, 'cause it's only part-time.
Your mobile phone will be disconnected unless you pay in 7 days. Well, that's useful. They cut the house phone off last week. So much for the best deal on the market. £42 electric, plus £84 arrears. I don't know how we've used £320 worth of gas. We can't afford to run it. Catalogue overdue, TV licence reminder, car tax is due at the end of the next month as well, insurance the month after, not that I can afford the petrol. Who's going to give me a job at my age? I'm 57 and past it. Anniversary's next week, 30 years to buy this place, and we might lose it. Pension's worthless as well. Can't even dip into that. And it gets taxed on the way in and taxed on the way out. Hello? Yeah, I've got your letter. I know. No, but I haven't had a job in 3 months and no one's going to employ me at my age. Oh, well, thank you, but your sympathy isn't going to get my bills paid, is it? If you cut the phone off, I won't be able to ring for jobs. No, because it's off last week. The internet was part of the package, so I don't have that either now. Well, you're just going to have to do it then. Bye. Hello. Working on the thirds, have you?
Been working all week, Dad.
Working hard? Doing what?
Cleaning.
Cleaning? What the bloody hell's up with you?
I'm just doing my patriotic duties in society, aren't I?
All right, and how may I ask, is cleaning part of your patriotic duty?
Doing for the Queen, aren't I?
The Queen? Yeah, the Queen. The lady who wears hats far too heavy for her head.
Yeah. The Queen.
Well, it just seems that if she can afford those heavy hats, she should pay someone to do some tidying and not ask a lot for charity. Did she at least pay for the train fare there?
Train fare?
Yeah, well, you know, the megabus. You know, it'd be a lot quicker to go down to London to walk there, you know.
Megabus? Look, what are you on about? I haven't bloody been to London.
Well, I want to see you going to clean up Alice.
No, I'm not cleaning her palace. I'm just cleaning up our street.
Oh, I see. It's clean for the Queen.
Yeah, you know, because it's a birthday.
Right. And is our street part of the tour, is that?
No, not exactly.
So, why are we doing it now?
Look, I don't know, it's Margaret next door, but one mentioned it to our Claire, and that bloody Govey bloke, he's been going on about it. He did some crap publicity stunt, bending over with his litter pick and smiling at the camera. So I thought, well, us Stokies, we better show him up and do our bit. Look, come on, mate, in all seriousness, I don't know, it's community spirit and stuff like that, isn't it? You know, clean for the Queen.
Is that all it takes? No. That's a phrase, and you'll just do it. Will you wash for the posh? Will you scrub for the newborn cherub?
Look, come on, mate, you've got to be honest. I mean, it just looks a bit scruffy out there. I mean, look at the place. In our day, it wouldn't have been like this. We'd have had a little bit more respect.
Respect? What did I used to do as a job?
What?
Before they laid me off, what was my job?
You worked for the council. You were a street cleaner.
So, can you see a slight coincidence that I get laid off as a street cleaner, along with loads of fellow other street cleaners all over the country? 2 weeks later, then what? The government says we should all clean our dirty streets for our beloved lady with a pension of heavy headwear, whilst I'm being bombarded with questions for 70 quid a week.
Well, come on, mate, don't be like that. Look, I feel for you. I do, it's hard. But it's about us all pulling together, community spirit, you know, keep calm and clean for the Queen and all that. Look, I've got to be honest, it's been nice to see you.
the simple aim
Never seems to wear itself out, that's what gets me.
to lift themselves
Look,
back
I bet you a tenner is going to keep on like this for hours.
dependency and
How
help people
useful
let
it is.
themselves back into
I'm going to
work.
give it a good
The
kick.
simple aim is
Scene 2, 1985. One child to a slightly younger child. Beth giggles, delighted.
Oh, in. Oh, boo. Oh, boo. Oh, zoom. Oh, ee. Clever Bethy's got something for you, Go on.
Beth glances at the door.
Shouldn't we wait for her not this time, sweet? But Moo, close your eyes now, Beth's got a surprise. No peeking.
Beth plays with something hidden behind her back before pulling out a great recipe of a toy Star Wars ship.
Ah, boom.
Beth flies it through the air, giggling. Elaine follows it as it flies.
3 nights of dirty dishes that cost. Isn't she a half worker? 4 women. 4 nights of nasty dishes for the grandmother.
Beth flies it around some more.
You know where he's from, Gremlin? A galaxy far, far away. We'll go there one day. We'll ride it straight off the world and into another one. And back again. And we'll ride it into the other world and back again. To home to... What's that, Bar, bar, bar. Bar, 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 Beth, he's saying Beth.
Elaine continues to stare.
Bar, bar, bar. Bar, bar, bar. He's saying he loves Beth for buying him the bestest ship in the London Bay.
Elaine leans further forward.
Bar, bar, bar. Bar, bar, bar. Bar, bar, bar. Oh,
Scene 3, 1994.
you need to leave now or you'll miss the train. He'll come back. How do you know? He'll have gone off with the boys again. The boys, but he's too little for those boys, you should tell him not to. Tell him not to? He doesn't listen to me. Come in, look him up. The train's taking Han Solo with the train there. This is later than normal. What time is it? Look at the time. Time for the train. This boy's doing bad stuff, everyone knows it. He's a tough nut. A tough cookie, a tough egg. So dark out. How can we stand it? He might not find his way. Not find over him. I'll put a stake on and he'll come running back and he'll be banging on a story about Batman until I tell him to shut up. Maybe this is like, oh, going is a stupid idea. You're a stupid idea. Maybe I should. You're a stupid thing who deserves it. The world's out there, isn't it? All there waiting for you. It's out there waiting for you, all hot on some posh plate, waiting for you to eat it.
Elaine turns away.
He'll come back when he wants to. You tell him I said goodbye. Yeah? Yeah?
Scene 4, on the phone, excited, speaks like her words can't keep up with her ideas.
The took us to this right posh place after. There was like gold and shiny stuff everywhere. They put us all to like 5 different courses and got me, just me, this bored. Because I'd won yet. Special stuff, they said. I had to lean under the table when they weren't looking before I most got because that purple handbag they got me was tasting like petrol. But I told them it was going to be my triple odd choice and they laughed. The speaker paid for all, so I'm making up his wallet, packed full of 50s. Like 10s of them all snug in there. I think it was 5,000 as well. Maybe not thousands, but that shit like. How does someone end up with that many notes in their wallet? No? He's clever too. Learned like 10 new words just listening to him. Dichotomy, equanimity, esoteric, facetious, flatulent. I started to collect them in a notebook. Flatulent. You know what that is, Moo? A, flatulent? No. And O, it's the entire bag of frozen McCains and one night he becomes grossly flatulent. You get it, Moo? Moo? No, I don't think so. I think you're befuddling my head. Put him on. One time about the man with the money. He's there, isn't he? Yes, he's where? He's real. Sorry. Moo? Moo? It's been 5 days now. He's not said anything. What? Not sober. He sits in his room all evening. When he isn't sitting in his room, he's getting water from the kitchen and walking past me now saying a word. I started to wonder whether I was awake anymore after 3 days without a single word uttered in the house. I forced him to sit down to tea tonight. I put that new Superman on, and he said nothing until I goes to him. You can't just keep on doing this, not speaking to me. And he grabbed the bowl, Nana's bowl, and threw it at the wall. Got salad all down it, down the wall, and he didn't say anything. It didn't look like him. It wasn't him. I don't know what to do. Beth, he doesn't sleep at night walking back and forth across his room, muttering until 5. Then in the morning, a thin young man comes out who I don't recognise and he disappears until the evening. Beth, me and Chris have slept for weeks. Sometimes I think the leave's not mine. Beth.
See, Barry.
So at its simplest, we're talking about a system that minimises government intervention and maximises the role of the market. According to theory, rational economic actors, acting in their own self-interest, deal with information and price goods and services most efficiently. Government regulations, trade barriers and labour laws are thought to distort the market. This provides the most opportunities for both consumers and producers by creating more jobs and allowing competition to decide what businesses are successful. 8 years ago, this guy they were on about got awarded the Presidential Freedom Award for a lifetime looking beyond the horizon. That's pretty cool, I reckon, to spend a lifetime looking beyond the horizon.
Scene 6, 2001.
Did you get them? I put them in first class. He bought them himself. Got himself on the bus and to the shops and back again. Some of the old lads from school were out and said a few things to him, but he ignored them. He forgot the wrapping paper, so I had to improvise with the birthday stuff, but, you know. Sorry about the diacast of Barley Quinn or whatever her name is. Tried to persuade him to get him some nice bubble bath, but he wasn't having any of it. Might look nice on your new posh office wall. Eh, no? I won't put him on the phone, not today. These things, they can make him quite drowsy, but he's calmer now, not so trapped. We have proper conversations these days, and he's going to that support centre nearly every day, pick him up and drop him off. He still sometimes, you know, on Christmas Day, we were watching a green speech, just the two of us sat with a box of Property Street. When he asked me to move over and offered the room stood in the corner, a room, he said, a room and sit on the sofa. He looked so sure of himself, I felt like that too. I asked a blank spot in the corner to sit down and I felt horrified.
Scene 7, 2014.
Saw you on the telly. I know, you were just in the background, but I squealed to Sue, I know. Look, you exist on the telly. The man sounded very pronounced in this new thing. I said to Sue, my Beth wrote that. Sorry, helped write that. Sue just thought we made them up on the spot. I tell her, no Sue, there's a whole team that come up with it all. And even the jokes, she goes, especially the jokes. And all those numbers and figures. And they put them in threes. What do you call that when you put something in threes to make it more powerful? O started quoting you, going on to his mates down at the place about his big sis. He's okay now. They've explained to him why he needs to take them every day to stop the, you know, well, so they let him out last Tuesday and he's back in his flat. He's still going to see Jeremy every day and they put him on a cookery course to get his confidence back. I took him shopping on Saturday and he cooked a casserole all by himself for tea. He was dancing around the kitchen in that Batman onesie you got him, and
Elaine stops and looks around anxiously, like she's made a voice. Beth speaks quietly at first and grows louder.
so, as the assessment has detailed, you have been declared fit for work and as such will be required to attend a back-to-work assessment this Wednesday, 6th of February.
Suddenly seeing Beth for the first time, vehicle, Beth does not look at her.
Well, following your back-to-work assessment, you will be expected to leave for work immediately and in order to qualify for the allowance, meet the targets as stipulated in your back-to-work plan. Do you understand? Sorry? Do you understand?
Elaine looks around her as if for help.
Your plan, you understand your plan? My plan. You'll need to repay any outstanding balances by finishing the payment of this avoiding this employment penalty. Oh. And as part of this new initiative, all job seekers will be expected to undertake any work placements after to by this types of job centre in order to satisfy payment of the allowance. Yes? Yes? Yes. Yes, what? Sorry, yes. Sorry, I was just, what about, yes? What about the, you know, as the assessment is detailed, you can declare fit for work. Fit for work. I understand. No, what?
Scene 8, Elaine's panicked.
I wasn't there. I was at the doctor's. He was on his own. She was talking to him and he was on his own. What did the assessment say? They know this. What did it say? They know he shouldn't be on his own at these things. That he's fit for work. Fine. His score did not satisfy the minimum criteria because his condition could not be considered long-term. That he did not have day-to-day difficulties. What are we going to do? We should write to them, shouldn't we? We should go in and speak to them. We should go in there and demand that they change their decision. There's something about appealing, isn't there? Can you find out about appealing?
professionals that used to deal with all sorts. All sorts. No, I mean, those said that the assessed woman looked like the lady off the Antiques Roadshow, and that as soon as he thought that, he was convinced she was the woman off the Antiques Roadshow, and started thinking what on earth she was doing here, and where were all her antiques, until he'd missed most of what she was saying, and he had to ask her to repeat it back to him. She must have thought he was deaf or something, because she started saying it really slowly and loudly, until O thought she'd gone a bit too lally. I nearly chopped Julie's rhododendrons down earlier. Why? When we got back and told her what had happened, you know how Julie is, I just fancied, you know, a hug, and to listen to her rant a bit for me. When I told her, she turns to me, gives me this look and goes, Eileen. She's never used the name for it in her life. Eileen. It was about time he became a useful member of society. You're not 56. I stood on the drive feeling all dizzy, and I could hear a voice somewhere start going on about dossers down at the bus station, all these dossers down at the bus station, pensioner taxes, all these dossers who don't understand hard work, all these dossers who I wanted to speak, but it was like I'd forgotten all the words in the world. So I went inside and I shut myself in the bathroom until Ev had to force his way in, and he sat on the side of the bath with his arm around me. When I came out, I wanted to chop down the lot of them. Your kind mentions that sometimes. Your boss about these kind of people. Dossers. It's more complicated than that. You wouldn't. I wouldn't what? See, Mary. Okay, you need to calm down. Speak slowly. He was sat in the canteen eating his lunch, and this boss comes with us in. Tells me he's been short 4 times this last month, and he's cost the shop nearly £300. He tells him to turn out his pockets and all the other stuff to gather around. And the boss forces him to empty out his pockets, and then his coat pockets, and then his bag, and then his shoes. They're all stood round him. And then he stood there with no shoes on in his holy Spider-Man socks. And the boss says he's going to have to inform the centre that he'll lose his money again this week, that he'll have to pay it back, that he can't handle the tills. I've tried to explain to him again and again, all the people, all the money going in and out. He panics, he gives them God knows what change just to get rid of them, get them away from it. And where is he now? He runs off there with no shoes on. He runs out the shop and down the high street. I stood outside the peacock to see him come running past. I shouted him to come back, but he looks at me like I'm a strange old woman. And there's this look in his eyes that's... He goes into Morrison's and I follow him. I can see the back of his blonde head going down the bread aisle, and he turns left at the end, but by the time he gets to the end, pushing past all the people, I can't see him anymore. I get a call out for him. They think I mean a grandchild. They call out for a little blonde-haired boy called Owen over the town who's come back to his granny. But nothing. Some charity collector says he saw a young man exit the supermarket and go across the car park to the trees. It was 5 hours ago. Seen her. I was in the middle of a meeting when I received a call from the unknown number. I went outside to take a hand. Sorry, but I'm in the middle of a... What? This is... What? This isn't... He can't... No. Scene 11. I know I'm safe. School is around me. I know I'm safe. It's around me. I know I'm safe because the world hasn't changed. I know I'm safe because the bottom of my stomach has collapsed. I know I'm safe. I'm sitting here, not moving, looking out the window, trying to work out if the world has ended. I know I'm safe. I think we might be in free fall. I know I'm safe. I'm locked up, tied down, eyes blinded, mouth gagged. I know I'm safe. Hasn't told anyone told you. I think there's a ball of terror growing inside me. Scene 12. So the new line is that these trees help people get put back on the ladder. We will encourage more people to get back out there. It's a positive and motivating force which will... Sorry. It's a positive and motivating force which will reduce dependency. That's the gist of it. And we'll use the data and use it as much as you can. Throw it all at them and try to argue that... Sorry. I just remembered. When they try to argue that... You know that thing when a dream you've had starts to kind of uncurl and you suddenly realise you've been carrying it around with you all day? Like carrying it around in the back of your head all day? Longer than that, more like weeks. Sorry. If they ask anything tricky, you can say confidently that the data shows the percentage of 20 to 25 was not in my phone. That's it. I was stood by some castle. Conway Castle. Sorry. percentage 20 to 25. And there's this nine. There's this nine on stood next to me, and he's laughing for a vice which is squeaky, really squeaky. But then the ground underneath us, it starts to break up. I could see like wet railings, the wet railings from the playground at school. But they're slipping away now too, and all the earth under us is slipping. Slipping into like 50 feet of open air under us, and our feet are starting to slip too. Now there's a shiny metal trap 20 feet underneath us, and coming closer, and I hear this visor squeaking, and... Sorry. Is that okay? Shall we practice some questions? See how Julie came round this morning. She made me a good breakfast. The bacon was so tough I couldn't swallow. And I had to keep turning it over in my mouth. She gave me a hug when she was leaving, and I wanted to push her out the door. I stood there in the kitchen when she got my heart going 10 to the dozen, and panting like I'm hungry. Sue's worried. I've not left the house for 7 weeks, so it's not healthy for a 60-odd-year-old woman to be sat in a Batman onesie. It's too tight for it for that long. I've watched all the Batmans and all the Supermans. I'm now at that bit in The Force Awakens, his favourite bit. We rewound it so many times that the film keeps skipping. Been writing, letters, superposts and form. Got one reply from the job centre. They expressed their condolences, but after an internal investigation, they are satisfied that due procedures have been followed and that the case is now closed. Sue said your campaign's heading up here, and that we're an election hotspot. He's taking the town hall hotspot. What does that mean? I saw a documentary earlier about these people who dress up as clowns and follow that old Prime Minister around. They accuse him of war crimes and throw shaving clean pies at him, dressed up in red noses and silly shoes. My heart's going all fast again, panting at me like it's some kind of urgent message in code.
Scene 13, in a packed town hall, Beth waiting for the crowd.
Decent crowd, isn't it? I'll help through the questions at the end. Just give me a nod when you're ready.
Irene looks around at the people, gathered and whispers to the person sat next to her.
Have you been to one of these before? It's a good crowd. It's quite exciting, isn't it? You know, you just get a feeling, crowds on your side. I've been reading about these cool people. Terry, is it? The local paper just ran a very positive story. They dress up as clowns and follow them around, yelling protests everywhere they go. It's a good day. Outside their work, outside their home, they have to get restraining orders against them sometimes. Bodyguards too, you've got it all straight in your head. Because it's about voices, isn't it, Terry? The ones that get heard and the ones that don't. It's straight in my head, at least. Do you watch Star Wars, Terry? I woke up this morning and started to think it was falling apart like wet tissue paper coming up in damp chunks in your hands. It's very easy not to hear certain voices because they are on the wrong frequency. So sometimes to break into the right frequency, you have to do something big, Terry. But then I have a gesture, Terry. He's giving me that one, a right hand, a big one, to an audience, Terry. Look, he's on stage.
Under her breath, she comes ready.
Thank you for having me in the lovely town on this wonderful summer's day.
He's on stage and the audience listening.
Now last year I had an elderly lady come up to me and how much like this one.
It's kind of beautiful, isn't he, Terry?
The elderly lady stopped me in the town square.
Irene rummages in her handbag.
Could you watch my handbag, Terry?
Irene pulls out a black coat, cloak and hamlet and proceeds to dress the flower.
Put her hand on mine and told me how she had. Why are you stopping?
Irene climbs under her chair. She's dressed as Darth Vader.
You need to carry on. The elderly woman told me how she had.
Irene uncurls a piece of paper and releases it from the audience. A speech of a woman who has never used speech in their life. The light shades on the chair.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. Wait, there was a boy. Everyone's laughing, you need to pull it back. The elderly woman told me how a young boy who liked Star Wars.
Irene's confidence grows.
Pull it back. The elderly woman told me how, and stories about heroes, and spaceships, and Superman.
And
The elderly woman told me how. The boy's name was O. The elderly woman told me,
Beth starts.
and he was starting to get better.
Have
provided you with, can you identify which of the people on your quiz sheet are scroungers? Quickly, take long. Lovely. Okay, that's that. Fantastic. Okay, question 3A. Question 3A. Okay, what percentage of government spending goes on job seekers allowance? What percentage of government spending goes on job seekers allowance? Look and circle it. Nosy over here. Lovely. Okay, question 3B. How much government spending do you think people think goes on job seekers allowance? How much government spending do you think people think goes on? Circle your answer. How do you know it is? Okay, question 4. You have 30 seconds. Bit too long, that. 20 seconds. 10. Okay, 10. Circle the 10 circles for 10 seconds to circle the 10 differences on the spot. The difference. Okey-dokey, question 5. Question 5. If you were to come up with a convincing story as to why we're in a state of austerity, what would you come up with? Is it A, tell everyone that we all are in this together, so work hard and you'll achieve a John's Gold Crusher garden furniture and we can all get out of this ruddy mess? Or is it B, if you see a woman with a proud known man, she is at risk of robbing you? Or C, late immigrant single parents are working class and the other party? Or is it D, make up your own story, every other suited and booted fucker does? Okay, answer please. Okay, I'd like you to swap your papers. Swap your papers. Swap the paper.
Don't challenge.
Okay, give yourselves a massive round of applause.
And I turned to them and had to explain that in this new age of austerity, which has only served to widen inequalities, I'm not sure. But I know who's lost. Lost are unemployed, low-income earners, are disabled elderly, and the young, the poor and the powerless that are being sanctioned. What has our country become? when our banks are facing financial crisis, easy credit and property prices have left us burdened with billions. Deficit, to be clawed back by years of austerity, predominantly by those most vulnerable in our society, the poor and the powerless that are being sanctioned. Replacing, restructuring, reducing, piling up problems for the future. Cutbacks. Cut back those skivers. Let the strivers lead the country forward, they said. Those with the broadest shoulders will bear the greatest load, they said. While the most vulnerable with genuine need will be protected, they said. And believed it too. The reverse is true, because so far, in fact, the greatest impact has been on those in the most deprived parts of our country. Our unemployed, low-income earners, our disabled, elderly and the young. Who's won? Someone asked me today, and I turned to them and had to explain that in this new age of austerity, which has only served to widen inequalities, the scale is leaning right, but wrong, and there are challenges to be confronted when balancing the books. I'm not sure who's won, but I know who's lost. There's a cost. If you're going to gamble on the future of an entire generation, there are risks. For unemployed, low-income earners, our disabled, elderly and the young, the poor and the powerless that are being sanctioned, what has our country become? Food banks and top-ups, just to stay above the breadline. Some isolated and in debt, feeling in work poor. Stressed, depressed, standing on a financial cliff edge, trying to find a way to make ends meet, with precarious, part-time and poorly paid employment, involuntarily underemployed, caught in a low-pay, no-pay cycle, caught in a low-pay, no-pay cycle, caught in a low-pay, no-pay cycle, just to have enough to eat, or heat, or eat, after hours spent wandering around every supermarket, savvy shopping, bargain hunting, just stretching money far enough to have a family fed. So who's won? Someone asked me today, and I turned to them and had to explain louder that in this new age of austerity, which has only served to widen inequalities, I'm not sure, but I know who's lost. Lost. Our unemployed, low-income earners, our disabled, elderly and the young, the poor and the powerless that are being sanctioned. What has our country become? And think about the women everywhere as the need for care rises. Think about the women who are picking up the pieces when they suddenly unravel the big safety net, because for many women this added burden brings emotional stress and a loss of earnings, decreased well-being, a growing strain still remains on our often female unpaid human resources. Just tell me who's won, someone asked me today, and I turned to them and had to explain that in this new age of austerity, where we were promised we could build a big society, they should ask the architects, check their red prints, since I'm not sure, but I know who's lost. Our unemployed, low-income earners, our disabled, elderly and the young, the poor and powerless that are being sanctioned. What has our country become? And how can they stand up straight and stare at me directly, smiling, deny all that was promised before, but assure that everything's all right, we're all tumbling toward the light, our economy will be booming. But I feel a perfect storm leaving on my humdrum, long gone grain to work. Let's build this together, they say. Good use of the taxes you all pay. It's all for the good of the country, remember. You voted it that way. And I can't see how they intend to build our big society in the way that they propose. With our unemployed, low-income earners, our disabled, elderly and the young, the poor and powerless that are being sanctioned. Who's won?
follow that one. Nice one, Gavin. That's really good. It was quite intimidating to tell you right behind me. I noticed last time we came for rehearsal last night, and I noticed last night that I actually wrote these 20 years ago, and it's tragic that they're still relevant today. Like most professional actors, darling, I've done a lot of resting jobs, probably more resting jobs than acting, but I was a shelf filler once, shelf stacker, and it was, I've got nothing wrong with shelf stacking, but it drove me nuts. It was absolutely drove me balmy. I was doing it. I wrote this is called Who Listens to a Slave, and I've been asked to sing it. So I'm putting the glass up. I can't bring it here. I'm not nervous at all. No, I'm not. The nice little waltz. Doing it always right, night after boring night, same old monotony, need a lobotomy. My ruts become a ditch, making some bastard rich, can't even rant and rave. Who listens to a slave? Try a new medium to end the tedium, trying to be secure. Open another door, open it just a crack, then snatch my fingers back as it slams shut again, leaving me deep in pain. Hope lingers in the room, trailing her faint perfume, dreading she ever strays, catching her gentle haze, keeps me from drowning in deep biting mortal in, savagely closing in, crushing me from within. Beaten by mockery for life's bitter irony, pride in a loathsome task, doing just what they ask, hating what I've become, treated like filthy scum, knowing I've got no choice, can't even raise my voice. Service utility, this job's futility, isn't life just a bitch, making some bastard rich, who was seductively breathing new life in me, so I'll go on and then, doing it all again. Grateful I must appear, no bone shall find an ear, smile, take it on the chin, don't let the bastards win, breaking I can't complain, I can't face the goal again, though I will always crave someone to listen to a slave. Thank you. And Gav's poem mentioned the word human resources. When I first got my first job in 1972, yes, I am that old, I went to see a personnel department because I am a person. Now I go to human resources because I'm a resource. And as you know, resources can be set aside, used, and eventually dumped. And this is called Unit of Expenditure. And it's a rock song. Thank you. Don't clap for one. Okay, now. So, it's a bit like this. I can breathe and I think and I feel like anyone. I have memory and emotion. I sleep when day is done. I argue when I laugh and I'm sad and then I'll cry. But rationale and logic just don't seem to apply. Well, I'm treated like a number. There has to be a cure to the rules that say I'm just a unit of expenditure. If I'm cut, then I bleed. If I'm damaged, I can mend. I'm not rigid in my views and I know just where to bend. I'm not radical, not full of hate, longing to abuse. I know what I learned, I don't like to be confused. Explanations I can take just so I can be sure of the rules that make me just a unit of expenditure. When I'm worried, then I frown. I can act just like a clown. Rejoicing takes me up, dejection brings me down. All the feelings I associate with being just a man, all the knowledge I accumulated don't make me understand. like some faceless bureaucrat with Dr. Almador. Dehumanizes me, unit of expenditure. I'm a number statistic, and my value displeased. I'm not a man anymore. I don't have hopes, desires, or fears. I'm anxious to require them through no fault of my own. If there's some seedy man, my working life is blown. If it's profit for the owner, a loss I must endure in order to become a unit of expenditure.
To the people of the United Kingdom, of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, and the Empire and Dominions at large, from Nigel Digby, Montgomery, Orkin-led Farage, Leader of UKIP, Friday, June 25th, 2016. Watch your chance! First off, apologies for not getting in touch sooner, but as I'm sure you will appreciate, Friday night was a bit of a biggie. Well, let's just say, the celebrations went on into the wee small hours and beyond, culminating in me and some of the hardier souls from the UKIP policy unit going on the crawl, and winding up in the snug of the Dangling Latvian, enjoying a lock-in, and many tankards of Ruddock's Old Jacklet. Anyway, the next thing I remember is me, Squiggy, Duckface and Captain Roundhouse, and the rest of the lads at the Star of Persia, ordering breakfast kebabs and Fantas of Mehmet. Diamond bloke, you know, salt of the earth, which all the other emos were liking, knows how to take a joke. Even when Squiggy and Duckface started singing, he's going home, Mehmet's going home, he never stopped smiling. Except to shush his wife and kids when they came down and see what the noise was, and then wiping away what looked like a tear. All those fried onions, I suppose. Anyway, well, one bacon butty and a resolve later, and here I am, sat by the phone, waiting for Bozza to get in touch about the Foreign Secretary's gig. I won that one. Oh, it's true. Won that one over an intense session of biscuit game in the public of the Stag and Panzer. It was a pretty mighty thing. Anyway, now look, seriously, son, I'm putting my pint of Twemlets old Ubermensch to one side here. Yes, it seems that some of you lot out there have been getting unnecessarily heavy and inappropriate with the old emos in public. Now then, I cannot stress strongly enough that this is not what UKIP is about. We are not a party of thuggish, ill-educated reactionary bigots. We're a party of reactionary bigots in nice suits. Now you know how those metrosexual Nancy boys and lesbos at the Daily Mail love this. It's true, everybody knows it. So a bit of discretion, eh? Festinare lente, or whatever old I-type cobbler's bottle would come out with. Anyhow, now let me briefly address the 48% of you who were brainwashed by the Guardianista rabble at the Bolshevik Broadcasting Corporation and who don't seem to agree with our overwhelming mandate of 3.8%. Look, the people have spoken. From the hardy fishing folk of Cornwall, and by the way, don't worry about that $1 billion+ in EU subsidies you just spunked up against the wall, you can always go back to cream teas. And the pale wan toilers and grafters in the echoing warehouses of Sports Direct. Keep stitching, you little buggers, and don't skip that cavity search. So we want it, fair and square, where's his keepsies, no returns. All the rest of you, thanks for the votes and all of that. Now just get off my back about those sodding campaign promises, all right? 350 million a week for the NHS. Oh, come on. Don't you people recognise classic banter when you hear it? Get alive. Now, I know that some of you are looking at the financial markets and the state of power, and you are getting your nylon to the knot, to which I can only take you firmly by the shoulders, look deeply into your eyes, and tell you not to worry your fluffy little heads about it. Everything's going to be all right. Followed by a firm but loving James Mason slap. All right. Why the blue rinse buggery hasn't Johnson done? Oh, you can't be here. Me, Squiggy, Duckface and Brown Arse are going to have to go and drag him out of the stair cupboard and take him off to the Hare and Hinkle for a few tinctures of Mosley's Old Lebensraum. We'll even take a little Goofy, leave him on the step outside with some crisps and a tonic water and a copy of the EU Single Market Trade Agreement and his pencil case. So keep him happy for hours, just scribbling exclamation marks and oh cripes all over it. That should keep him out of mischief. Good it? Oh, yeah. Right then. So, anyway, you've got to conclude. I know I'm kind of staying around here gassing. Things to do, people to see. Now just remember, you lot, together we have achieved something historic. We've won a famous victory without a shot being fired. Eh? Oh, right the fuck. Layers, your John Nige.
May 2016. It's 4 weeks to the EU referendum, I said. Leave, remain, remain, leave. I know what I'm doing, he said. I've nothing to say. And then we argued about my hair on the floor and his papers all over the place. 30th May 2016. I think I've made up my mind, I said. Leave, remain, remain, leave. So have I, he said, looking bored as ever. And then we argued. Talk louder, I can't hear you, I said. Don't shout, I can hear you all right, he said. 7th June 2016. 2 weeks to go, I said. Leave, remain, remain, leave. I'm thinking again, shall I spoil my vote instead? I'm not changing my mind, he said. And then we argued. It's too cold for the blanket, I said. It's too warm for the duvet, he said. 14th June 2016. Just a week to leave, remain, remain, leave. I have made up my mind now, I said. Good, welcome to the club, he said. And then we argued. But I won't bore you with what it was that week. 23rd June 2016. He voted first, remain. I voted next, leave. It was a very quiet evening that evening. 24th June 2016. Who won? Who lost? It's Brexit for breakfast. Take it or leave it, I said. Ha, he said. We aren't divorcing over the kingdom. We'll share the outcome of the referendum endeavour as we argue over the same old stuff for the last few months and beyond of 25 years together.
Right then. That's the end of the night. We just basically, as Bishop Butcher, want to say a massive, massive, massive thank you to all the contributors, all the writers, performers, directors, the arts, everyone from tonight for coming. We hope you've had a good time. Yeah. Thank you. Let's just be more mobilised and do stuff, more stuff like this. Speak out. Yeah. Thank you very much. Hope that was it for quarter past. Quarter past is the last one, so yeah. Get yourselves over here.